What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Sam here. Yeah. So this is all new to me. I'm a little bit nervous today, so you can probably just call me Nervous Sam instead of Skate Sam. So yeah, my major concern here today is I hope you can actually hear me very well because it's my first live stream. I hope you can hear me. I'm more concerned about the audio. And secondly, I hope you can see me too. So you can just quickly let me know if this sounds okay and if this looks okay. Because at the moment I really can't tell how it looks like on the other side. I have my laptop here, so if I'm looking on this side, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to see if what I'm doing is clear. So audio is good. Audio is good, man. Thank you so much. So I'm just trying to see from the laptop here if I look just okay. So I think this looks good enough. I'm just live streaming on phone, and I'm using local network too, so I really can't complain. So first off, I just wanted to say thank you guys for getting me past 1K subs. It's been a long journey, and I'm grateful. And hopefully, I'm looking forward to make like 5K subscribers by middle of next year. And I've had this YouTube channel for a while actually. I've had it since like 2015, but I've not really done anything with it because I didn't even know what YouTube was used for at the time. So coming into skating, I realized like I see a few people on YouTube, but I didn't really like. I didn't even know how the content got on there and stuff like that. So it was up until the middle of 2020, coming towards the end of 2020, that I actually like knew what I was supposed to be doing with my YouTube channel and stuff like that. So I just like looked through a few people's channels and then I just tried to follow suit. So I really had no content ideas. I just thought, what could I do? What can I do like consistently? And most of the time I'm skating, so I would just do my regular skate content. And even regular skate content, I didn't know if I should do talking videos, which of course I'm not so used to talking to the camera, or do just skating videos, which were so popular at the time. Because most of the videos I saw up on YouTube were just skating and there was nobody really talking. And then later on, I found out like Ricardo Lino's channel, he was doing a little bit of talking and a little bit of skating. But I don't have so much confidence talking to the camera. So I had a friend in Australia at the time. We would usually like do video calls and stuff to try to get me to be able to talk to the camera and stuff like that. Because like talking live is weird. It's just me alone and I really wouldn't have any idea what I'm doing. So we would usually like do video calls and then every now and then I'll ask him how am I doing. He'll be like, oh, this is okay. And then it got to a point where like I was a little bit more comfortable, so I usually just started talking to the camera, trying to record myself. And then I would record myself and I would listen to the audio and I wouldn't really like the way I sound. I wouldn't really like the way I sound. So I would just like delete it. And then if you actually look at my channel, I've had like very old videos, but then I always ended up deleting them because I was always concerned about how I sounded like. Because to myself, I wasn't sounding like, I wasn't sounding confident enough and it wasn't sounding so good to me. And then even till date, like it doesn't really sound good to me and I hardly rewatch my videos, like I only watch my videos when I'm trying to edit them and stuff like that. And I wouldn't like watch them afterwards. So like I'll watch through the editing process and then I'll watch the final video and then that'll be it. And after I uploaded it, I wouldn't even go back to watch it again. So that's about like how I started YouTube and stuff. And like I said earlier, I was very concerned about how I sounded like. So I started YouTube, like I said, I watched a few people and then I followed suit. And before, like I said, I wanted something I could do without me trying to grind and stuff like that. So I was doing that to get videos to post because like every weekend I would go do a grind could actually like something to watch, a progressive kind of thing where people would to watch every now and then. And then I got hurt skating my aggressive skates. So I don't think people like to hear themselves. Yeah, so I got hurt skating my aggressive skates, so I had to like push them aside. But then I still needed to make some kind of content, so I just thought, I have the boys at the park every weekend, so why not I just I just do the videos every weekend because I have the boys in the weekend, and yeah, we could just do something every weekend. It doesn't matter if somebody watched it or not. We just, you know, having fun and skating and just recording ourselves. So yeah, we were doing that, and then I wasn't really getting like a lot of views, and it's like it's sort of discouraging trying to do this thing when you are focused on the views. So it came to a point where I just like, you know, let me just forget about the views and let me just do this for doing sake. You know, if I just recorded videos, I could come back and watch them later with the boys because like we don't have a lot of our old videos, you know. So we just decided to like record sessions every weekend and then just post them so we would have something to watch for ourselves. So yeah, we were doing that, and then the talking bit came in, and then I finally hit like 1K subscribers, and then I was at the park with the kids one time, and I realized I could live stream. So if you actually watch like the first live stream I did, it was just me out with the kids. That was when I realized the first time, oh, I could just live stream from my phone, you know. So I did that, and then I've always wanted to like do more live streams, and I haven't been able to. Like I said, I've been a little bit concerned about the audio. And then over the last couple of months, like 3 months ago, again I was observing people's channels and I realized like people had a Patreon and stuff like that. So I again looked at everyone's channel. I looked at Ricardo Lino's channel. I looked at Welch's channel. I looked at Jam Street Podcast. I looked at Tom Moyes. I just looked at a few channels. I realized, you know, they had a Patreon. So I just, you know, looked into it a little bit. I took like a week to just look through it. And then I set it up finally. And when I set it up, I told Jan about it because at the time I was on his podcast like, I think 2 months ago I was on his podcast. So I told him and he was the first person to be on my Patreon, which I'm really grateful for. So I just wasn't like so concerned about it because again, like I really didn't know what it was used for. I didn't even know the kind of content I was going to make on my Patreon and stuff like that. So I just left it. And then I woke up like 2 weeks ago and realized I had like I think $20 on my Patreon. That was $20. And I wouldn't want to do the conversion here. It's kind of a funny situation. But then I pulled out that money from my Patreon and I was able to buy like this live stream microphone. I've been looking to buy it for so long, but then the price was so high. I just didn't have enough money for it. So I was finally able to buy it by the help of those who are on my Patreon actually. And I'm really grateful for the support because it's what I'm using right now. And I also bought like the mini tripod stand I'm actually using to hold my phone here. And like I got so excited buying it. I tried a few live streams and I had this lady here who is in the live chat, Luna Bear. Really grateful for your support. She helped me try like a few of the live streams. You know, we went through the sound test. I went through the video test with Landa a couple of times, and that was really interesting. And I'm so grateful for the two of you. I can see you are still in the chat, and I'm so grateful. And right now, I have 5 people watching, which is like not bad for my live stream. And if you can, I don't really have anything to really talk about. Like, I don't have a list of things I was just to talk about. I just wanted to like do the live stream, have a feel of it, you know. I would probably come back and watch this later and be like, yo, I really did this one. And also, I said that I was going to talk about my channel goals. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to like build this channel up and try to show more African rollerbladers and African skaters and stuff like that, you know, because I try to like travel as much as I can within the country and record various skate scenes I meet and just basically every kind of skating event and activity. I try to record it and I just try to show people what the skate scene is like down here. And you know, like if I look on YouTube or when I started looking up on YouTube, I never really saw like any African skaters on YouTube. All I saw were like America, Europe, Australia, and stuff like that. And you know, yes, it's really nice watching this kind of content and all, but there is like no one making content I can relate to. You know, it looks like, oh, these people have all the gear, these people have all the environment, these people have all the skate parks and stuff like that. And so it was like sort of discouraging it was discouraging for me at first. But then as I got to like learn more social media stuff, I realized, this is not really so hard to do. And these are actually like people I can relate to in some kind of a way, even though we are coming from the same place. So I basically like started asking people questions, how do you do your YouTube channel? What do you do with this? What do you do with that? And I got a few answers, and I finally like had the courage to start my YouTube channel and then just basically record videos. And so yeah, I've been doing these videos ever since. And like I said, my idea with the channel is to like show more African skating to the world, because if you look on YouTube again, if you look on YouTube, it's all like US, Europe, and Australia and stuff like that. Currently, there is more skating within the Middle East and stuff like that. And it's like really cool to see, but there's not really like making skate scene out of Africa. So I just said, okay, if no one is making it of Africa, this is just the best thing to do here. So the goal with my channel is basically to show skating in Africa, skating and I'm in Ghana, so basically show skating in Ghana, show skating in Africa. And currently I just have like my little live stream gear here, and every now and then I'll try to do a live stream, like I'll try to do it like once a week to keep things going, just to get used to it. And like I said, it's a learning curve for me, so I might really not have anything to talk about or any direction to go on my first stream, which is this one, of course. But I hope you bear with me and you understand where I'm coming from, and let me just try and navigate this thing. And of course, with your help, like I said, there's currently 8 people watching, which I'm really grateful for. And yeah, so the goal with the channel again is to like show African skating, and I'm planning to like do interviews and stuff like that, because when I did the video test with Landa is my friend in the US. He lives in California, so he's been showing me around a couple of times, and that has been very interesting. So I did a live stream with him, and I realized, I can have like 2 people on the stream, and I can do like a podcast type situations. So somewhere along the line, you are going to be seeing like different skaters from Ghana and then different skaters across Africa. I'll try to like bring a few of them on my YouTube channel and basically try to show them, to my audience and show them to the world, because people have done that for me in the past. Ricardo Lino did it for me. He put me on his channel, and then he got me in front of like all this audience. And then over the last couple of months, Jan did it for me too. So like, I also want to do the same thing for other people around the world and other people that come from where I'm coming from, because like there's more people, there's more talents down here, but then they are just sort of in the shadow situation. So I want to like show all these people, bring them up on my channel in the future, talk about stuff, and then get the whole scene going. Show that yes, there is really a skate community in Africa, there's really a skate community in Ghana. And yeah, that's my idea with the channel. And if I'm reading the comments, I would have to like look here to read the comments. So I'm sorry if I'm not like looking at you and you are not feeling like I'm looking at you. So yeah, someone said, let's talk about Skate of the Nation. So basically, Skate of the Nation is an event I came up with. And I'll be extremely honest with you, I copied the idea Skate of the Nation from this event I saw in the US. I don't know which part of the US, but I know it's somewhere on the East Coast, probably Miami or some stuff like that. It's called Skate of the Union. I don't really know the details of the event, but that event is called Skate of the Union. And it had like basically the same way mine is written is the same way DS is written. So I actually like changed the A in the middle of the skate, and then I put the Ghana national arc in there, and then I changed the union to nation, because I have this big picture for this idea, and eventually like I want to do an event like Winter Clash and bring skaters from all across Africa into the country. And so I came up with the title Skate of the Nation, and I basically copied that design I saw. And so the event started in 2019. At the time, I was working with Decathlon, and I was teaching skating in Decathlon. I was working like customer service and skate instructor and all those things. For those that wonder why I can speak like very well, I did a little bit of customer service at Decathlon, so I have like a little bit of experience talking to people. So I started that event when I was with Decathlon in 2019. At the time, we've had a few skate events in Ghana, but it's been like run by this beverage company, and it's done once a year. And even that, it hasn't been very consistent, and it's coming to the point where like, or it got to the point where we always had to like, sort of push it before the company does the event. And even when they do the event sort of doesn't favor everybody type situation. So I just sat down and thought, the event is basically like, I observed the event, and it was basically like chairs and canopies, sound systems, food and stuff like that. And they were a food company, so it's just it. So I observed and I just wrote that down. And in 2019, I kickstarted my first event, of which my friend in Australia paid for. Shout out to Nick. Nick paid for that event. Nick gave me close to $200 to do that event. And for the first event and the first like for a first event, it turned out really great. There was food, there was the sound system and canopies were there, so people had shade. And then, I mean, I had like 20 skaters show up at that event, and it was really great. Like at the end of the day, everyone was excited. I didn't really get any complaints, and then I just knew, okay, this event is going to work and that people are up for it. So in the next year, 2020, I did the first event in March 2019, just because I'm born in March. I'm born in March 20th. So my first event was just around 20th of March. It was around the 23rd of March. I did my first event. I'm going to link all those events down in the description after I'm done with the live video, so you guys can go in there and check it out. So in 2019, I did the first event in March, because I'm actually like born in March, like I said, 20th of March. So I did the event in March around 20th. I can't really remember the date. I think it was 23rd or 24th of March. I did that event. So I had like the rest of the year to actually plan the next one. So it's 2019. In 2020, I planned the next events to be done in January. For some reason, I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to like do the event at the beginning of the year and then get it done with. And then that 2020 event was a struggle. And again, my friend Nick paid for it. Nick gave me some money. I got some monies from a few people, like just knowing. I have a few friends all over the world, like you guys, a few of people watching this. I have like personal relationship with a few people watching my live stream right now. And I basically just asked a few people. So this person gives me like 20, somebody gives me 50, somebody gives me 30 and stuff like that. So my event has basically always been crowdfunded. So I did that event in 2020 in January. And then surprisingly, February, March, COVID hit and nobody was allowed to go anywhere in the world. So if I had waited to like do my events in March, I wouldn't be able to do it. Sorry for that. If I had waited to do my events in March, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So 2020 event was done. It was a little bit of a struggle. It was an outdoor event, basically like on a small basketball court type situation. And like I said, I'm going to leave the link in the description below and then you can watch it. And then in 2021, I had to do the event again because I did the first year, I did the second year. And, and I don't have it like legally registered as an events company and stuff like that. So like you wouldn't get sponsorship from corporate companies because you are equally not a company. I'm just an individual trying to like do something. So in 2021, I had to do the event again. But then what happened in 2021 was in 2021, I think after I did the 2020 event, I met Abraham, who lived in like halfway across the country. I live in the south, and those guys live like heading towards the northern part of the country. So they are like around the central part of the country in some kind of a way. And it's 8 hours on the bus to get there. So I was like, I've done the events in Accra in 2019. I've done a different city in 2020. Let me just do a different place in 2021 because my idea for the event is to just show skating to a lot of people and to get a lot of people like active as far as skating is concerned, and like give the skaters something to look up to every year because it's like people are skating but there is no events and stuff like that to keep them motivated. So along the line, a lot of people just stop skating because there is nothing to do. So my event was just to like give the skaters something up to. Basically, they know every year there is an event, and when they come to the event, it's fun. They get to meet other skaters, they establish connections, and because like the event is being moved from one city to the next city to the next city, I'm also giving like all these people a chance to travel around the country and stuff like that. These are opportunities like they wouldn't have on the regular basis. So, and these are opportunities I equally don't have on the regular basis because I only started traveling around the country when I started skating. So I just thought, why not move the events around? And then we can move these boys to these places to give them a feel of traveling and also like to give them something to look up to. So 2019 event was a little bit tough because of the distance. But then again, as at 2021, 8 hours on the bus, and it was expensive to travel and stuff like that. So I always like would get a little bit of cash again from my friends around the world. Like they understand the vision. They just like give me some money to go on a weekend trip. So I did that to fund my 2021 event. And then at the end of 2021, is it at the end of 2021? I think at the end of 2021, yeah, I got sponsored because Ricardo Lino in 2020 actually Ricardo Lino started like his real addict skate shop, and he's married to a South African lady, so like he has some kind of connection with African skaters. He lived in Africa for several years, so he picked me up to be like a team rider for his shop in 2020. That was around towards the end of the year in November. So the whole of 2021, my event was done in April, but then I sort of was sponsored in a way by Ricardo Lino. He sent me some skates. He bought me my camera I'm filming with and all this cool stuff. So like he's really done it. Shout out to Ricardo Lino. And then in getting towards the end of the year, I sort of lost my direction because I thought, okay, I was sponsored and I needed to do stuff. Like I needed to basically do stuff for my sponsors. So I sort of pushed the event idea backwards a bit, and I wasn't traveling around as much. I just focused on like making content and then make my sponsors happy. And then in 2022, this year, it was the same thing. I sort of like focused on making my sponsors happy, making contents every day, not traveling around and stuff like that. Like I barely traveled this year. And then I had a few of the boys, they kept asking me, yo, what's up with Skate of the Nation? Like, are you doing an event this year? And I'll just be like, you hold on, I'm doing other stuff for now. Will you do an event this year? And it got to a point where like, I had so many people asking. So when I got hurt a few months ago, when I got hurt in May, I hurt my ankle, I wasn't skating as much. I just sat down and I thought to myself like, this event has been going on for a year, and then I got sponsored, and I really haven't thought about doing an event. And here is the case, I'm hurt and I can't really skate. So if I can't really skate, eventually I'm going to lose my sponsorship anyway. And if I lose the sponsorship, I would be on my own. And if I'm on my own, like it means, well, I'm back to like square one. I've lost my events and I've lost sponsorships because I'm hurt and I can't skate. So I just thought, no, why not get the event done? So I drafted the event again. I have the event formula written down because like I've done it 3 years already. I've done it 2019, 2020, 2021. So like I just pulled out my notebook, looked at the event formula, and then I looked for the next location to do the event. And then I got the location. I was there a few months ago, but then I needed funding because the location is far. And then I'm not making any amount of money from my sponsors. And then in 2021, the event I did in 2021, sorry I missed this, the event I did in 2021, I sold merch. So I had like the event t-shirts done and I sent it to a few people around the world. Like Rampant Skate Shop in Australia had my event t-shirts and they were selling it in Australia. And that helped me raise some money to do the event in 2021. In addition to my friend putting a little bit of cash. So I did that event, but then, like I said, in 2022, I sort of lost focus. And then before I realized, like, the year was coming to an end. and I hadn't done any event. So I just thought, I've seen a few people do GoFundMe donations, like GoFundMe campaigns. Usually I saw GoFundMe campaigns done when like somebody had an injury or something like that. Like recently I saw one with Razor's rider Jeff Howard, and it was a big donations and like people put in money. I just know if you do a GoFundMe donation, like people can put in cash towards the goal, and then that will be it. And I tried to do that, but I couldn't do that from my part of the world. Like, the system is, if you live in Africa, the system is restrictive in some kind of a way as far as like money transactions are concerned. So I couldn't do it. But then because like I've seen it being done before, I asked my friend in California, I asked Landa. I just told him, yo, bro, like, I'm trying to do an event this year. I've been doing it for many, many years, but this year I sort of lost my direction and it's already late. I used to do merch to fund the event, but I don't really have any cash to fund the event. So can you do a GoFundMe for me? And then he was also like, he's never done a GoFundMe campaign before, so he can't really do it. So I quickly like looked it up on YouTube, and then I sent him like the details of the event and stuff, and then he set it up. So he finally set the campaign up, and for a week, like there was no donations coming in, and then I started like getting stressed up because I already had the event planned. I already told everyone event is going to happen this year. I just didn't give them details. I told them event is going to happen this year.